just a vector name. You guys can call it anything you want. My stock, my tick, Jon Snow tick, Jon Snow stock, whatever, right? I'm going to call the data frame, press $, choose which column I want. In this case, I want symbol. I press enter. Excuse me. Type in tick down here. Boom. You have a nice clean vector with all the tickers and their alphanumeric values. Notice they're all in caps. They're all in caps, right? So boom, I got my step 1 done. Now, step 2. I want to calculate the intra-month return for stocks for December 2016. And then in step 3, I want to basically backtest the. In step 3, I want to create 2 portfolios, portfolio 1 and 2. And in 4, I want to backtest. Now, I'm going to cheat here a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do step 2 and 4 at the same time. All right? And the reason I'm going to do this here is because and step 4. The reason I'm going to do this is because it's more efficient for me to, every time I call get symbols to get, when I get the stock data, to just get all the data I need all in that one step, rather than call get symbols multiple times. All right, so let me show you what I'm talking about. What I'm going to do is, because I have tick, right, I'm going to use a for loop to loop through each element of tick, download the prices using the get symbols command, and crunching the numbers right then and there and storing the results for steps 2 and 4. Okay, this is going to be, it's going to be a little weird, but when I show you, it'll make more sense. So here's my for loop. All right, very simple. Now, what's happening? Because I have about approximately, if you go down the console and I do nrow and tick, all right, nrow and tick basically is like length. It's showing me how many elements I have in tick. I have 16 stocks, right? This for loop is going to run 16 times. In each iteration, T will be a different value of tick, starting with going in the order down here. It'll start off being Apple. In loop 2, it'll be CCUR. In loop 3, it'll be CCRANE, etc., etc., etc. And in the last loop, it'll be TDC. T will just be a string, an alphanumeric. It's as though we were hard coding those values every loop. In this case, T just takes care of it for us automatically. What I'm going to do here, I am going to use get symbols command, pass T into it, right? And then call auto assign equals false. Now, we talked about this before, but to stress it again, auto assign equals false. What's that doing basically is saying to get symbols, listen, don't create 16 different arrays with 16 different unique names. Just use the name I'm calling, which is fin. And the reason we want to do this is so that we can write the code once, and then we can pass in the logic. We can use the logic for any ticker. Okay? Because if I didn't use autoassign F, then the first iteration of the loop, get symbols would create an array called AAPL. The second iteration, get symbols would create an object called CCUR. The third iteration, it would create an object called CRAY, etc., 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 not making my life more difficult. With autoassign equals F, it's basically telling get symbols, you don't assign what the value, where the values will go. I assign where the values will go. And in this case, in line 17, I've chosen to have the object fin be where the values go, the prices go when I call get symbols. So I have get symbols here. Fin now will every iteration be passed in the data for each ticker. All right, so I'm good to go there now. Step 1, I need to create my, I need to basically get my data for December 2016. So I'll create a variable called December 2016, and in it I'm going to store just the subset of prices for the month of December 2016. And how do I do that? I slice it using the range method within these financial objects. When I pass in 2016-12, what that tells QuantMod is, okay, I got you. So you only want, in this variable December 2016, only the rows that have to do with December 2016. Because I want just the adjusted column price, right, which is the sixth column, I'm sorry, the adjusted close price, which is the sixth column, I can make my life one step easier by throwing a comma in here and grabbing just one column. So now, the first part, the 2016-12, will only give me the stock prices for the month of December 2016. The second part, the comma after 6, will give me the column, the adjusted close column. If I could just run this outside the loop, just for visual purposes, right, in a mock situation, just so you guys can understand what's going on, and then I'll put it back in a for loop. Right here, I will hard code Apple. All right, I run this. Down here, you see fin was created. And now, if I run nrow on fin, or basically let me just run head on fin, and you see the earliest data starts with 2007, January 3rd. If I run tail on fin, down here on my console again, right, you see the latest data is 2018, February 16th, right? We got somewhere in between here is December 2016 data. We want that data. So if I run just fin bracket 2016-12, you see now I have from December 1st, 2016 to December 30th, 2016. The beauty of this is I don't need to know exactly when it starts and when it ends in terms of stock trading days. Like when was the exact first stock trading day for December 2016 or the last stock trading day for December 2016. It'll just give me those values, right? The beauty of this, it'll just give me those values. Now about the comma 6, again, you have comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The dates here are not columns, they're just row labels. We want the adjusted close price. We've talked about this in class. The adjusted close price is always normalized, so it always gives us stable prices from a historical point of view. So that is a sixth column. So again, if I simply call December 2016 and just choose the sixth column, I now just get one column of data, the data I want. And that's what's going to happen here. In this line right here, in line 22, if I run that, right, which is basically just what's going to be run in the loop in line 18, you can see this variable, December 2016 now, becomes my subset of data, right? Makes my life a whole lot easier. Right, let me delete this, okay. Now down here, just to show what we want, when we're calculating the return, the intramonth return, what do we want to do? We essentially want to divide this number down here by this number right here and subtract 1 to get the return. I essentially just need two numbers. How do I get those two numbers? We talked about this before. You can use either a tail head command or you can use the first and last command, which is in quant symbols, right? So I stored everything in December 2016. If I simply do first December 2016, boom, I got my number. Now notice it's still in a data frame format. It gives me one row and a column. If I just want the pure number and just to clean this up from a data frame, this is where we use the as.vector command. And the as.vector command is just allows us to have a nice clean number. So if I just run the same thing again and pass it as.vector, and the as.vector command, as you can see, I got a nice beautiful number, no row labels, no columns, no nothing, all right? And likewise, if I want the last number, again, see how nice it works? Sorry, I meant last, not tail. Boom, you get a nice clean number, just like that. And I'm ready to roll now. I'm ready to do everything I need for my for loop. December 2016 has the prices I need. And so I'm going to get the first value. I'll put that in A. First December 2016. So that's going to line A is going to essentially be the first price of the month for December 2016. And then I want to get the last price for December 2016. Sorry. And this will become last right here. Now this can be, and line 20 will now give me the last price of December 2016. I can now calculate my result for what I wanted, and we'll call that the